Hi there everybody, I'm Jack Barnwell up on beautiful Mackinac Island. It is mid-June, a classic bluebird Mackinac Island day, and you guys are all in for a treat. I'm going to tour you through one of my favorite gardens here at Lover's Leap Cottage, right on the Straits of Mackinac. This beautiful, beautiful, colorful garden, and this whole back gorgeous staircase section that we just installed last year that is filling in so beautifully. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. All right, so like I said, this cottage is called Lover's Leap Cottage, and the reason it's called Lover's Leap is right out here in front of the cottage is a beautiful big rock formation. It's a big, tall limestone rock tower, and Native American lore and legend has it that long time ago, a Romeo and Juliet-like story happened here, right here, where a chief's daughter was, not able to wed the warrior that she wanted to wed, and so, she was extremely upset about that and only wanted to be with her true lover, and they came up here and leapt off, unfortunately, to their death, is the story, as the story goes, to be together. And so it's a tragic tale, but it is, as they say, history, and that is Lover's Leap Rock right there. So this is Lover's Leap Cottage, built on the cliffs and everything right above and right on the same limestone cliffs that make up Lover's Leap Cottage. And we're looking out over the Straits of Mackinac. That's the Mackinac Bridge here in northern Michigan. And this is just one of the most stunning, beautiful, iconic locations on the island. Last year, my team and I were tasked with a reimagining of this space and place here. So this whole entire back of the cottage used to be a big arborvitae hedge. It was a foundation planting planted right along the back of the cottage here, and it was so wide and huge and old, and it had been whacked down and topped so many times for the view that it was probably 10 feet wide, and you couldn't even walk in front of the cottage at all. This whole thing was just a solid hedge. We've ripped that all out, ripped all the stumps and everything out completely, and started with this whole new idea to reimagine this whole space. We put this nice flagstone walkway in and planted all of the joints for a very, softened garden-like feel to this whole entire space back here. So we have creeping thyme, a couple different kinds of creeping thyme, Irish moss and Scotch moss. This real chartreusey color here is Scotch moss. And creeping mazis is this purple flowering guy right here. It's a lot of beautiful ground covers fading right into this garden that is heavily planted with a lot of really classic successional perennials. Right now, the big show that's going on is the dianthus. You can see that those bright pops of that neon pink balanced throughout the garden. This cloudy, beautiful rock crest here is floating through the garden in a few spots, and we've got some nice blues of this cat's meow nepeta. After those start to fade, the roses are going to come on and do their thing. We've got roses balanced throughout the garden. You can see they're just starting to flower here and there. There's a nice yellow one right here. Oh, there's a bee in there doing his thing. Hi, guy. I don't want to upset him too much, but a lot of really nice things. And even throughout the garden here, earlier this spring, we had some narcissus here that are done flowering now, but I'm going to leave them because they're beautiful. Even these seed pods structurally are still really, really nice, and the foliage is still really strong and nice right there. And as they fade over the next few weeks, my team and I will come through, trim these back, because the next succession or the next show to come through in this section of the garden will take over as these hardy geraniums, these alliums and daylilies take over, and they'll come out and bloom and cover all this stuff up. So we'll be able to cut these guys back, and that'll be just fine. And it's funny, in some parts of the garden, you can tell that it's very, very young, fresh planted, and in other parts of the garden, everything is really filling in so well and nicely. It must just be that it gets, you know, a little bit more moisture, or just a little bit more sun and light. But another really cool element of this garden was this handrail system that my younger brother and I dreamed up. And this is all mahogany. He steamed and bent this railing to make this nice curved rail here. And this whole entire stone staircase wasn't here at all. When we tore out that big hedge that was here, we found this old staircase that used to come down right here, and it was crumbling and falling apart. You can see just some old traces of it here with some of the stone and mortar work. And it came down through here to this tier, and this was all just completely buried. It was so weedy, and there was big, you know, suckers and poison ivy and all kinds of stuff down here. You really couldn't even tell that these old garden tiers were here at all. But we cleared all that stuff out of here and carved out this seating area to make a really peaceful, cool little spot. Built this wrapping, you know, more graceful stone staircase down through here with the handrail, so it's really nice and safe. And then it comes down onto a nice level little walkway where we could feature these cool antique Adirondack benches. These were here at the house, so they're really beautiful original benches that have been painted probably 100 times. And then new to this space was this planter box. It's big and massive for a reason. We wanted this to be safe so that you can't, you know, easily knock this over or anything like that. It makes for a nice barrier, and it's loaded up with super petunias and big, beautiful dragon wing begonias and sun patience. So this is going to just get huge and overflow with color later on in the season. And yeah, these benches just make for such an awesome spot here to look out at the straits, at the water, and up against this stone in the evening time. You get some really nice warmth kind of radiating off of this stone. So even with a cool breeze, it stays and kind of feels nice and warm here, looking out at this like Easter basket of lilac blooms out there in front of us that are just now kind of on their tail end. About a week or two ago, this was probably just pure purple right here in front of us in lilac blooms, which is really neat. And yeah, it's just amazing to me that all this stuff just planted last year, and just look how happy and healthy some of this creeping thyme is, especially. And this is neat too, because see, even as it grows out over this stone like this, with all those little rootlets there, I can take this and just rip that little chunk off, and I can then transplant this to another space and place where I might want to have a little bit. So right here we got a little bit of a bare spot right there, and I can dig that down in there, and then take where all the roots are, fold that into like a taco, and pack my little taco right down in there, tuck it in, and that's going to be totally happy there and keep filling. So in the fall, we'll come and trim this all back, usually just with like a string trimmer, and we'll whack this all down really tight. It won't hurt the plants a bit. We can trim it all back and keep it clean so that every spring it comes up and greens up nicely. And then in the summertime, we'll let it flower out and soften this whole space like it is now. But we'll just, with simple fall cleanup, some of those chores and tasks will keep this garden in really, really good shape. I love the way this is a non-flowering lamb's ear. It's a beautiful contrast in a rock garden like this. Get that soft texture, and it you know, it stays quite compact like this, spreads nicely, but not out of control crazy. And they say non-flowering. Every once in a while it'll still send up a flower. The flowers aren't really that attractive. You know, we plant this plant for the foliage for sure, It's a very, very tough plant, even though it looks very dainty, very tough plant. As you can see, everything throughout this garden is really tough, hardy stuff. There's no irrigation here and very, very little maintenance. So we wanted to make sure that we could load this thing up, and once it establishes and takes off, all this stuff is gonna be able to do its thing throughout the summer season with very little touch, very little care, and all it needs is a good fall cleanup. So another really neat little feature about this property is the owner here of Lover's Leap Cottage. She does all the mowing and maintenance and things like that around the property herself, and she used to mow all the way to the fence line. And this whole back corner and everything she was always telling me it's hard to mow because it's really rough, and you know, there's trees and stuff in the way. She's got to push mow around all this stuff. And I said, well, Sharon, just let it go, let it be. You know, don't mow it and see what comes up. And so this whole entire corner, for the last few years, she has. It was really hard for her at first. It was like, you know, something deep down inside of her said it's weedy or it's unkept. But when it's intentional, you know, now she's totally fallen in love with it. And there's daisies and coneflowers and, you know, a lot of goldenrod and beautiful grasses. There's all kinds of diversity in through here, and a tremendous amount of habitat. And in the summertime, it's full of butterflies all throughout this whole entire little meadow. And we keep throwing more wildflower seed in here and stuff to get more and more coming. Here's some coneflower that'll be coming up later in the summer. There's quite a few of them right here actually coming in. So it's been a fun little experiment for her, and I encourage all of you guys to just, if you have a corner of the property or something that you don't use all the time, maybe just let it go and see what happens. You know, let it get tall, throw a bunch of wildflower seed in there and experiment with it, and let us know what happens with that. It'd be kind of cool to see what it does in all parts of the country and all parts of the world, wherever you guys are from. All right, so we are at the tail end and wrapping up our tour through some of the most exciting features of Lover's Leap Cottage here, and it would be a crime if I didn't talk about this beautiful old rugosa rose hedge out front here that is just abuzz with bees right now, happily buzzing through here, and the fragrance of these old roses is so intoxicating. It's really incredible. There's a few different varieties in here in different colors, but these Rosa rugosa are very, very tough roses, even down to zone 3. And they, you know, they do spread a fair amount, so you gotta have them in the right spot where you either, you know, have them far enough away from other garden beds and things like that, because their sucker growth will start to come up everywhere and everything. But these out here along the fence line, when they do sucker out a little bit, they get mowed down. And so over the years, they've really contained themselves and they're not trying to send suckers up anymore. And this hedge has been very easy to maintain. So these get cut down really hard in the fall. This is all new growth that comes up in the springtime. They just flower like crazy, and they flower for a long, long period of time. So they flower out over a long period of the summer season, and just about every one of these blooms is being visited by all these bees like crazy, but the fragrance is just so intense. And you can see on some of these that there's some gorgeous blooms here. This light pink is really stunning, but look how many buds there are on here, just hundreds and hundreds of buds all on this rose for the next several weeks of bloom. And it really makes a nice bank here in front of this gorgeous old historic cottage. But I hope you guys all had a good time on this fun little tour of Lover's Leap Cottage. Be sure to subscribe and click that bell and everything, because we'll be posting a lot of cool videos of beautiful landscapes and garden tours and things like that. And we'd love it if you join along. So we'll see y'all in the next video. Cheers.